Gotta love ads that you don't know what they're selling, eh?
Sleeplessness, I don't know why. Just can't get away from myself. When I get back on my feet, I'll blow this open wide and carry me home in good health. God, it's been so long, wide awake that I feel like someone else. I miss the way that you saw me, or maybe the way I saw myself. But I came back till you're broken, and I've been away too long. I hear the words I've spoken, and everything comes out wrong. I just can't get this together, can't get where I belong. Do you love? Who do you love? Well, I've been deep in this sleeplessness. I don't know why. Just can't get away from myself. When I get back on my feet, I'll blow this open wide and carry me home in good health. Screaming, do you love? Do you love? Do you love? Do you love? From fable to fumble, from stable to stumble, nevermore. I'll say goodbye to my demons and all my break-evens, ever yours. I won't come back till you're broken. I won't stay away too long. Even if words I've spoken seem to still come out wrong, I get my shit back together, get right where I belong. Who do you love? I've been deep in this sleeplessness. I don't know why. Just can't get away from myself. When I get back on my feet, I'll blow this open wide and carry me home in good health. Screaming, do you love? 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 Everything goes quiet. It's like I just can't move. You say I might as well try it. There's nothing left to lose. Nothing will change if you never choose. Well, I've been deep in this sleeplessness. I don't know why. Just can't get away from myself. When I get back on my feet, I'll blow this open wide and carry me home in good health. Well, I've been deep in this sleeplessness. I don't know why. Just can't get away from myself. When I get back on my feet, I'll blow this open wide and carry me home in good health. Screaming, who do you love? 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 Who do you love?
Whee! Nice numbers, baby. 16, 16, 99%. Whee! And it flipped to the 17. I love it. The flipping numbers, baby. That's important. How are you guys? I'm not sure who's here. I don't have my screen up yet. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Here I come, babies. Hey, Waters Above. I liked your birthday video, sweetie. Nice song choices. Hello that way. Are you still a not busy boy today? Amber. Hello, hello. Comment ça va? La Shell. First card up. 12. 1 and 2 is 3. Trinity. Liberté. Liberty. Liberté. Liberté. Liberty. That's partly why Lily Rose's name is Lily Rose. For Lily. L-I-L-I. For liberty. Oh, it's got some ocean on there. Some ocean energies. Grab the book. I'm not sure if I'll be guided to it. We'll see. C. Soul Journeys Oracle Cards Guidebook. Pippa Best. I freaking love the name Pippa. I have never known anyone named Pippa in my life. But that's such a cool name. I love it. Maybe a Pippa will come into the stream. That'd be so cool, eh? Whee! Okay. 3 cards flipped out. That's what happened yesterday. At the beginning of the stream, 3 cards flipped out as well. Okay, I'm not gonna use the book. I'm going to just hold up the cards and read the words and then grab your own, what flows. Courageous. May each breaking wave build your courage. Yeah. May each breaking wave build your courage. Courageous. Courageux. Second, pause. May moments of calm sustain you. That's important. Kismet, Kat Newman, shared it in the in community posts earlier. She had a community post about with her cats, but the clear message of taking the cat naps. And I've been pulling the card, take a nap. Like the card is not like, take a nap, right? Rest, 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 rest. It's important. We're programmed to be human doings instead of human beings, and we're rewriting the scripts, right? So as we do that, sometimes we can be shocked by how much rest we need, but it is absolutely needed. Got to break through that program of thinking that you're lazy if you don't choose to be of action. And what does that even mean? Because sometimes people who don't read, for example, think that somebody who will sit and read a book in a whole day is lazy. They have done nothing, right? So what is, you know what I mean, considered lazy by one person is another person's passion and pastime that actually educates and makes them more aware, right? And then the third card, lightness. May the light lift you to the surface. So a courageous pause of lightness. That sounds pretty cool altogether, eh? It's pretty courageous to be able to pause as well in this world where everything we do or don't do can be analyzed by other people. Can you take the time to self-care yourself no matter what, right? And I find a lot of the times, like in the last months, it's not even about falling asleep, it's about being horizontal. I mentioned this today to someone, and I feel like it's important. We've been programmed into the hours and the timestamps of our life that we're supposed to be awake and asleep, right? If you don't sleep at night, you have a disorder, you have insomnia, instead of it just being a part of what you need for yourself, right? There's such a judgment and such a program on when people are meant to sleep that if you're not sleeping at night, you believe yourself to have insomnia. You believe yourself to have a condition. You believe that it's better to take meds or to do a million things to be able to sleep at night instead of listening to your own body. But here's the funny thing about like time zones and sleep. If you live in one time zone and then all of a sudden move to another one that's like the total radical opposite, you have to flip your body to be the way that everybody else is. So if you're like 25 years old, you've always lived in, the Western world, and then all of a sudden you move to the other side of the world, you're the one that has to adapt. How the fuck does that make sense, right? The programs of how we are taught, and it's ingrained to not listen to our own body. When we travel, right? It's jet lag that we have because we have to adapt to, the acclimating to a different time zone. But you know what I mean? If in a world that is harmonious and united, people just do what they do, whatever time they want, whatever time feels best for them. There's no judgment, there's no labels, and there's nobody being called out for having a disorder, right? A lot of us have had weird or just non-existent true sleep patterns since birth, right? And how much whoever's in our life, depending on the timelines that we're in, sometimes we could have had timelines in our life where everybody accepts that, so-and-so needs a nap in the afternoon, so-and-so doesn't sleep at night. But then other timelines of our life, it's like completely unacceptable. You're not even allowed to get up, right? Think if you're a friend and you go visit someone for a week, how do you change your body and what it needs for a week if you can't get up and walk around and do things at night, right? For 7 days, you're gonna like adapt to other people's routine. Think about it when you go to someone's house for a certain amount of time, extended, or even just, a meal. Not everybody is asked, what time are you actually hungry usually, right? Supper's at 5, everybody eats at 5, but if you're the one that eats at like 9 or 10, trying to eat at 5 just because everybody else does, eesh, it's fucking awkward, right? Anyways, I've rambled on a lot. Now there's people here, so you guys need to write stuff so I can bounce off it. That way, not busy today, yay. Yes, that's the second time we've referenced Pippi Longstocking together, eh, Amber? I never thought of that. Hey, on the plant, how's your day going, dude? Happy 18th of February. It's almost over. We're almost into March. The Ides of March, and the saints go marching on. Jansu. I was Pippi Longstocking for Halloween when I was 8 years old. Dude, I was Pippi Longstocking. Fifi Brin d'Acier is what she's called in French. Fifi Brin d'Acier. But I can't remember what age. But I was too when I was little. I can't remember what age though. Hey, Dawn Morning. Thumbs up. Second Whatnot show is in 40 minutes. Nervous? Here for the positive vibes? Whee! Good. You're going to have so much fun. The first one went super well. This one's going to be even more like, whoop, 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 baby. Enjoy. If you feel like sharing your link here, please go for it, dude. Go for it. Ooh, Amber. What song did you sing last night, Amber? Oh my God, I'm so dazed and confused. For the record, yesterday, when the live stream was going on, I was in one embodiment, and then all of a sudden I was like, boom, like in a daze, completely like gone, baby, gone. I ended the live stream. I stayed in silence. Couple things, whatever. Turns out there was like an MK, whatever, not MK, but M-class solar flare and blah, blah, blah. And it was like, oh, good to have the words, because that one like was like very powerful. And so, yeah, last night I was in and out of Matrix Man stream. I was there for when you sang, I don't know if you sang more than one song. I was there for when you sang the first song. I'm trying to remember what it is. Wasn't it the Eagles? I think it was the Eagles, right? And I even I even put a request in the chat of like if anybody wants to do Hang On Sloopy, and then guess what I did? I fell asleep. I fell asleep like back, I don't know, between like 10 and 11. I can't remember. So I even made a request. I was listening, and I don't fall asleep with my phone in my hand or anything. But all of a sudden, I was like, I can't do this anymore. Turn the phone off, say goodbye to Lily, and boom. Thank you, Dawn Morning. If you guys feel like going in for that, please do. Yeah, the first one was Peaceful, Easy Feeling. That's what I thought. I couldn't remember at first. You did sing more? Roar. I went into it a little bit this morning, but I couldn't concentrate. I couldn't concentrate on listening to voices or anything. Okay, don't put it on my hair, honey. I took a nap before the stream. Roar. Good. Napping is good. I'm gonna grab these. Yeah, I got so sleepy yesterday, like as the stream was going on, so sleepy, and just all of a sudden I was like not in flow. And yeah. Aw, Dawn says you sang good, Amber. Yeah, she did. It's nice. I love that song, Peaceful, Easy Feeling. Okay. Community. Holy synchronony. I just said before I came into the live stream, I left a voice text and I said I'm like a giraffe looking down right now on certain situations. And the second card I pull, third, 1, 2, 3, 4. The fifth card has a giraffe looking down. So that's a big sync for me, the giraffe, because I'm not one to commonly use that expression that I'm a giraffe looking down on certain situations right now. I'll usually use the term I'm bird's eye view or star's eye view looking down. I don't usually use the term giraffe. So the fact that giraffe would come up so quick in the stream is pretty cool. 18 minutes in, card number 8, double eights. This isn't a common card for the live stream either. And by common card, I mean there's some cards that come up like every week type of thing. And there's some that just don't. And this one is kind of newish. I'm trying to see all the there's different birds. The hut has a face. I'm going to flip the card in a second. The hut has a face, guys. Look for that. It's pretty cool. Okay, here. Hope you guys see it good. My screen, I have my dimness down so that my battery life lasts for a long time. So I hope you guys have a good view of the card, but I can't do better if you don't. 8, community, belonging, being seen and understood by others, like-minded connections, a sense of family and friendship, knowing your place in the world, being seen and understood by others. I'm gonna stay. You gotta go on the plant? Okay. Enjoy your day, dude. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate you. Like, being seen and understood by others. Sometimes, I'm going to say this how it comes out, but sometimes listening to certain channels who call us family, or who call us brother and sister, or who call us community, and it's like, dude, you don't even have your comment box open. We can't even comment to you. Or like, dude, you don't even look at the comments or like, comment back at us. You don't make me feel like I'm seen. You don't make me feel like I'm part of your community. You make me feel like you're just like wah, 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 and service to self. And could I sell whatever it is I want to sell? Or could I like make myself look like I'm a teacher or something? But you don't make me feel seen. then you don't make me feel like we're part of a community, right? The us and them type of thing. It's just like strange to me sometimes. It's like I'd have more respect for people if they didn't use those words at least, because it would be self evident what's already self evident. You don't treat people like we're a part of a community. You say you're actually too busy. If you guys reach out to me and email me, I'm never going to look at them. I'm too busy. That's what people in the Matrix world say. Is that spiritual? Is that fifth dimensional? Because it doesn't feel like it to me, right? Anyways, I feel to say that because I named the stream "Let the Cards Fall Where They May" because there's so much being revealed, and sometimes listening to people, it's like, does nobody else see that this person is speaking from a place of ego, or like it doesn't make sense what they're saying, right? Just because somebody's got like thousands or millions of views and subscribers, does that actually mean that they're coming from a place that is for a greater good, right? Oh my gosh. Okay, get back into the card, Jen. I know what community feels like. I know what tribe feels like. And I certainly know when I allow for people to feel seen and heard, and vice versa for myself, right? Anyways, this card signals a new affiliation with the group. Boom. This is the second day in a row of this type of energy. It was a different deck, different card yesterday, but this is prevalent in the last 24, 48 hours, whatever, of newness coming in for people. I'm not sure if anyone else has the reflection in their life where certain timelines were expired, certain soul contracts are just like done, or if you know what I mean, the ones of us who it began ahead, like it's the warning for you of it's coming, right? I've seen in the last 24 hours, are you sure your friendships aren't expired? Expired friendships has come up in different ways. Like it's not always the same person, and it's always like it's been like three or maybe even five different things. One was from my card specifically yesterday, but are your relationships expired and you're just trying to breathe life back into them because it's not going to work, right? And if you don't allow for your friendships or your timelines to be expired, done, fini, the new can't come in because you're still concentrating, focusing, you haven't shut the door, right? Does that make sense? So I feel it's really just important to like stop and note that there is a big message coming through, that new affiliations, new groups, new people are coming within, our dynamic. And new people, don't forget, can also be a new embodiment of someone who's already existed. So, let's say if you're in a relationship and it's been kind of stagnant and you've been even wondering, what the fuck am I doing here still? That the person's going to flip into the embodiment of the new, right? That new phoenix energy. Does that make sense? So sometimes it's not about new people, it's about people who really like flip into a different script, right? So they appear as new. Just like the way that the death and rebirth, the dark nights of the soul, when we rise up from those phoenix ashes, we're not the same person that we were. We're not. Like we're the same avatar, body, meat package, but within our bodies as well. When we see people, the forms of people's faces changes very fast when they're at a different embodiment. The glow in the eyes, right? The passion and the fire that is reawakening or completely awakening for the first time, that can't be filtered, that can't be photoshopped. It just is, right? Jan Sue mentioned yesterday, I think it was, Jan. I don't know if you're still here. Jansu mentioned she was talking with a coworker, and she mentioned she was in her 40s, and the coworker was taken aback. Huh? I thought you were in your 20s, right? And so that je ne sais quoi that we radiate without an effort. It's not coming from that conscious ego of I want to look younger. You just do look younger, right? To the point, guys, where I've had my crustiest days when I feel like the biggest piece of like I'm ancient. I've been here since the beginning of time. I fucking can't handle this reality anymore. And I go to buy smokes and I get carded. And I'm 50 fucking years old. And it's like, is this really happening to me today? Right? This is really happening right now when I feel the most ancient I've ever felt. Yet that's the day that the dude up there decides I don't look like I'm 19 years old. He's going to ask for my ID, right? And then he looks at my ID and he's kind of like, ooh, sorry, ma'am. Yeah, buddy. You know what I mean?
I don't know how people think, how people still ID people, but clearly are not
Because it's the energy that they're feeling. It's not how we look or how we look to them feels young. And they worry enough about it to think I got to do my job because there's cameras everywhere and they got to do their job, right? Lily witnesses sometimes, right? That I get asked for ID and like it's, you know what I mean? It is what it is, but it's
the youngest you look is 35.
yeah, clearly old enough to buy smokes. I get it. I know. I get it. I know. Yeah. Okay. I got to read this card and stop like, well, no, the fun part is when I bounce off the card, but not everybody gets that. Okay, this card signals a new affiliation with a group. Humans are social creatures, and we need to know we are useful in our families and communities. That is so important. People who grew up or who have had families where we feel like we walk on eggshells, we don't feel useful to our families the same way, right? So finding people and then connecting and feeling useful, right? Feeling like when we turn around that the person is thinking happy thoughts, pure thoughts. They're thinking good thoughts instead of turning around and feeling like, oh, you know, like, well, how's she gonna fuck it up again? What's she gonna do this time? Type of energy in the back, right? In a community, everyone has an important function and feels I matter. And this is where we're at, is rebuilding the scripts for a new world. This is a part of how we were raised. Often, this isn't a part of how workplaces even work, right? They say you matter, but you really don't, ultimately, right? They, right? You get sold a package when you get a job, and then you become pretty much a number. People will say you're family, but they don't treat you like family. They treat you like the number or the, you know what I mean? This being said, I've had radically, magically delicious work experiences in most of my life path. And when I didn't feel like family or honored or treasured, I fucking left, right? I fucking left. That's it. Membership in a group provides a sense of belonging, of kinship, and of purpose that comes from working together for the greater fulfillment of all. You can't stay waters above. Much love. Love back at you. Yes, there is a recent shift. Community, family, even love. Some people use words too haphazardly. Indeed, nothing grosses me out more than when someone calls me sister and I know she's got the yucky emotions, not the pure ones towards me. It's disgusting to me because I've only ever had one true blood sister in my life. And believe me, I don't use that word willy-nilly very much, right? Not at all. Because it's important. Yeah. And how many people, you know what I mean? People have sworn, like, oh, I'm ride or die and I'm this and that. And like, holy shit, the first thing they do when they feel a certain way is to either project upon within me and us or to fucking run and hide. Right? So, wow. Those words didn't mean shit. Not at all, right? Perhaps you're part of the spiritual community, a spiritual community or an artistic one. Perhaps you are in a learning community where you share your love of education. I like that it separates. There really is the different tribe lines. And some, for me, I'm an eclectic kind of tribe line where I need a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. That's what we're all about. But when I peek in and birds of a feather flock together, some, community, tribe lines, soul groups is the best word for it, are of all like this like mind. Like personally, I know I've talked about this before, but there's some things about like spirituality and spiritual practices or rituals or gatherings that it's like, ew, ew. If I ever end up doing that, I'm going to be the first one that's shocked because I am not fucking thinking that a massage train, 20 people or 10 people in a line all massaging fucking their shoulders in a train, I don't think that's fucking cool, right? Not at all. Somebody showed me a video once of where they were at Christmas time, and he's like, this is what they're all doing right now. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? It's a massage train. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Holy shitballs. No wonder I'm so isolated. No wonder I'm all alone. No wonder I'm fucking like waiting for someone of my ilk who doesn't see this as what they want for their fucking future, right? Like, ew. And it's just like, ew. Right? Ew. Ew. There's certain things that to me doesn't rock my crank, and that's not going to rock my crank more just because I would find people, you know what I mean? Just if everybody else wants to do that, fine, but could you not ask me more than once? If ever I want to join it, I'll go join it, but don't ask me again. Yes. Amber, even the karaoke stream has its own therapeutic magic. Yup, for real. Yup, the consistency, like specifically my Matrix Man's, the consistency of it and just I would call it an even flow that Matthew was able to generate, right? Therapeutic. I like that word, yes.
I thought it was therapeutic.
Oh, okay.
It's not?
No, pudic.
I thought it was therapeutic.
Okay, regardless of the form or focus, your community brings you joy. You will be inspired by it and you will want to contribute to it. And your contribution may be as small as showing up or as large as becoming the leader. No matter your position in the group, your presence is needed. Indeed, calling all souls who are a part of certain timelines, may you have the courage to step up into your embodiment of where you need to be. What the world needs now is more love. I find it's my perspective that we're stuck in a voyeuristic circle that the internet and so many of us on a screen have enabled people to just sit back and be voyeurs and not participate. What's the point of participating? Other people are doing it, but it's like, bruh, it's you, the missing fucking link, right? It's you, the missing link for another person to be able to manifest a song. It's you, the missing link for us to be able to pivot into what our tribe, soul group is meant to co-collaborate and create. So, you know what I mean? It's become too easy to sit back and look at other people and not do anything. I had someone once say to someone who was singing, oh, you should show your eyes when you sing. It's nice when we see your eyes. And it's like, bitch, are you fucking kidding me, you fucking motherfucker? I know you play guitar. I know you sing. And you're 3 years in and you still haven't shared it to anybody. But yet you're asking for more from my lady. You have no fucking clue what that felt like. It was like a fucking bitch slap. right? It's like when people like try to like puppet me of what I should be doing instead of what I am doing. This is my basic training for where I'm going to be in another given timeline, but I don't have any fucking players yet. None. Zippo. None have shown up, right? Not one. So yeah, I'm already holding the line doing what I do. Don't think you're going to like harvest more energy out of me when you're not pumping out any at all, right? And it's that thing of I'm too shy, I can't be seen. Well, guess what? We all are. Those of us coming from a place of a certain purpose and mission, we didn't ask to be seen, right? It's not part of our lifelong goal to be seen. We're doing it because it's part of what we signed up for within soul contracts and timelines. And we know this, who's dropped us within the last years, those that had been meant to show up. Amber, yes, you got to do what feels right, but at some point, does it feel right to be sitting back and taking energy but not giving it back? And you, right, are a classic example. You know what I mean? You stepped up and you participated in the karaoke last night. So it doesn't matter how many years you've been watching everybody do karaoke, you know what I mean? You do it too. You can't just keep harvesting and looking without participating. And it doesn't mean you're going to come online but it means like there's somebody to send that song to. Right? If you're sitting there and you're just strumming along all the time thinking you're no good, thinking you're not enough, but you're not even sharing it with one person so that they can be like happy and proud of you, right? I don't want to make it seem like I think anybody or everybody should be on a screen, because I don't. But I know that everybody by now, if you're watching certain people, if you call them brother and sister, but if you don't even have them in the background, that you can call them or that you Skype them or that you text them, what is all this about? Right? And I know some people are just passerbys, they're just observers. It's for them to pivot and it's got nothing to do with us. But other people are the players with us, avoiding being in the play. Right? For real. Amber, I'm terrified every time, but it feels ridiculous to not participate after so long. Yeah. I loves you, and I'm so proud of you, and your voice is amazing. It's soothing, by the way, for real. And for myself, I give so much this way and in the background in other ways that I just can't leak more energy a certain way, right? Like, and there's a part of me that, because I share myself so openly and vulnerably and I never know what's going to come out of me, I am saving parts of myself for my divine timeline, right? The part of Jen that hasn't been exposed and shared herself with the whole fucking world and anyone who wants to press on a video or live stream or someone else's panel, that part of me is the little saved part that, you know, the people or persons that are meant to be a part of my soul group are going to get to cherish and get first, right? Does that make sense? Like, there has to be little aspects of me that feel different, pure to certain people, because otherwise, I don't know if that makes sense, but it doesn't. There's a part of me that just needs that, right? Why would I want to like dance for like the whole fucking world when I haven't even been able to dance with one other person for so many years? I don't even remember. You know what I mean? And the embodiment that I am has never. You know what I mean? So it's not fear. It's not even shyness. It's more like, holy shit, the world gets a bunch of me. There's got to be little parts that I save for the amplification of what feels good, right? Amber says, I get you. I'd rather sing than talk. That's okay, Dawn. I don't show my face during my Whatnot sales. I completely understand for something like that. Depending on how my show goes, I will come to karaoke tonight. Right on, sweetie. Yeah, and I completely understand not showing your face for selling something in the beginning parts. Everything we do has a different level of what we're gifting as energy, and not everybody's at an awareness to understand what they're doing when they look at us. You can play music on Whatnot? Roar. Okay. Regardless of form or focus, your community brings you joy and will be inspired by it, and you will want to contribute to it. And your contribution may be as small as showing up or as large as becoming its leader. No matter your position in the group, your presence is needed. You're discovering the essential qualities that you share with another, and perhaps also those you don't share. There are times when you follow and the other person leads, and there are times when you lead and the other follows. That's super important. The appearance of this card points to the importance of learning the proper dance between you and another. And this I've learned a lot radically in the last years, especially last couple of years, is when I'm at my lowest, often my truest people, that's not where they're at. So they're able to anchor me a certain way, because the way that my timeline is going and I dip or feel a certain way, they are here, so they're able to hold on, right? I'm not sucking them dry. They are not sucking me dry when we need a certain type of comfort or soothing, holding space, or complete silence, right? There's a lot of silence between the truest of friendships and relationships because there's no forcing things, right? It's accepted that you can be days on end not knowing what to say, that there's no words for this, right? Accepting the truth that everyone has flaws is part of the dance. Exactly. It's like there's some sort of like thing that people think they have to attain before they can leap into certain things. And it's like it is the leaping into it that helps heal, right? And how everyone has things that need to be witnessed and that somebody doesn't run. I don't know if that makes sense the way I'm saying it. Gotta go, showtime, hugs back. You got this. Yes, have fun. But the dance of the trust is where the healing happens. Because you can think that you're all healed, but if you're all by yourself and there's no mirrors ever, and then the first thing that happens when you do try to talk to people is that you're triggered, then you're not healed at all. But it's through going into the triggers, not avoiding them and not like pretending they're not there, that we heal. Okay. Accepting the truth that everyone has flaws is part of the dance, yet you are also being asked to be aware of the dynamics that you don't want to repeat. Exactly. Just because we're flawed, it doesn't mean we get to perpetuate those programs and patterns, especially when someone calls us out on something and this is how you're acting or this is how this sounds, and listening to that, integrating it to propel into a higher embodiment. You're in the perfect place to make changes in order to experience the best version of who you can be together. Whenever you're in a community of like-minded others, there's a powerful opportunity to reap great abundance. Imagine exactly, you got 5 people who all are purpose-based, and following their highest gifts, highest timeline, how fast the flow of abundance can be there, because no one's in resistance doing things they don't want to be doing. Everybody's doing things that they cherish and enjoy. The example I'll use that's really big is the Beatles weren't the Beatles until the Beatles all got together, right? The Black Eyed Peas, they were around a long time. They didn't become the Black Eyed Peas that we know now until Fergie. And I hate to use, like, that type of example, but I don't have real life examples, right? Of people that I can use. So I got to use like the big ones that is like, kind of matrix pop culture based, but still it's to use an analogy. It's not because that's what we're aspiring to or for. And this being said, there's a lot of new music that needs to come out. We're here to rewrite the scripts, listening to the same music of the flow of certain things that has the toxicity, the programs in it. Well, right? Who's going to allow for the new things that don't have the programs embedded, that doesn't have the ego, that doesn't have the MK programming in it, right? Yeah, Fergalicious. Exactly. And Fergie was like on the edge of death before she chose life, right? I don't know much, but I know she was an addict and it wasn't fucking pretty where she was at. And when she fucking chose life instead of to continue her stuff, boo. Again, it's just an analogy because I don't glorify. They're not on a pedestal, but I don't have, if anybody else has other examples, please let me know. But it's essential to ask, what can I contribute rather than what can I get from this? You figure out a need and you look to fill it. Something meaningful will manifest. Even if what manifests is small, it's a sign that the doors of opportunity will swing open wider. Fergie, love you long time. Hey, Matthew. How's it going, eh? There's also another meaning to this card to consider. Don't try being all things to all people. You choose your role and you be true to yourself. And you serve from a sense of authenticity. There's no greater feeling of accomplishment than knowing you have a purpose. And the protection message. Beware of compromising your integrity in order to belong. How do you dim your light or change yourself so others accept you in a group? Do you hide who you really are in order to play a role within the larger whole? This will never fulfill you, and you will be exposed at some point. That role, that mask, that person you're trying to be can't sustain itself within these energies, within the collective, what we're bringing in as a collective. Now is the time to assess your willingness to be real. Stand tall and be you. Authenticity is true self-expression and the only way to empower yourself. Don't be afraid to be yourself and step into the role your heart tells you to make. Making yourself small bears too high a cost. Which part? You say, oh, damn, I didn't know that. That's weird. Which part didn't you know? As well, when we speak of music and stuff, there are some people who always, like, they'll sing or play when they're alone, but they don't perform alone. Right? They do not perform alone. They don't go on stage by themselves. They're part of a group or a duo, right? Many partners, duos, they just, no, you don't, right? They're together. They're a duo. Her backstory, yeah, I only remember, like, and only know because of just it coming into my reality, but yeah. Yeah, and the thing about Fergie is everybody wants to assume she's at a certain age, but I forget, she's like 45 or 50 something, you know what I mean? Like, she has a life before Fergalicious. You know what I mean? If that makes sense the way that I'm saying it. Yeah. It's like when Tom McDonald, he showed some stuff, it was a couple months ago, about like, I just didn't, start singing, and then boom, everything happened. And he showed clips of certain pictures, and he showed the apartment that him and Nova started in. It's not like the home that they're in now, right? How we might think that people are all of a sudden famous, or all of a sudden popular, all of a sudden, right? But all the hard work, all the getting refused, all the nobody wanting you for a gig, and then everybody wants you for a gig, right? But the backstories are huge. I don't tend to know stuff, but the backstories of us all, every individual on this planet, right? That's why if you're out and about, we can judge, we can analyze, we can think somebody looks a certain way, but are they? No, everybody has a backstory. I was with someone once, and we were going to his house to get his fishing gear, because I lived off the lake. We were going to get his fishing gear, and I had dressed with a pair of suede boots and a suede coat. I bought the suede boots for $5, and I bought the suede coat for $7 at a thrift shop, right? But I wasn't driving. I could be pretty. It didn't matter what I was wearing, and it was comfy for the time of year. It was warm enough for the time of year. And when we got to his house, there was a fire outside, and there was like different family members, and there was like a certain uncle or cousin or something, I forget. And anyway, so we went straight outside, and we're hanging around by the fire, and I got my suede boots and my suede coat on, and whatever. I don't know what I look like to an outsider's perspective, but we start talking about fishing, and the guy looks me up and down, and he's like, well, you certainly don't fish. And I was like, why? Because I'm dressed like this? And he's like, well, pretty much. And I was like, first of all, this all comes from thrift shop. It doesn't even equal up to $25 with tax, what I paid for it. Second, I treated myself to put this on because I didn't have to drive or think, and I just could be comfortable because the suede coat's kind of like tight. It's restrictive compared to a different winter coat in Canada. And I was like, third, the only reason we came here tonight is to come get the fishing equipment, right? So, you can judge me for how you think I look, but everything that I got comes from a thrift shop, right? And I am not some hoity-toity person. We're here for the fishing stuff. I was like, have you ever trapped a line? He looks at me, he's like, no. And I was like, well, I have. Just because I'm dressed in like suede today, that don't mean that I don't know things that you don't even know how to do, buddy. Right? When I looked at him and said, have you ever trapped a line? He looks at me and he's like, no. I was like, well, I have. So, you can judge me for the clothes I'm in, and then you can talk as if you can do everything, but I know how to trap for beaver and you don't. You know what I mean? Meaning I can sustain, and I've done things that you wouldn't even imagine I've done, kind of thing. It was funny. And it was all like in jest and in more of a, like, his eyes getting really big and realizing he had judged. And I was like, you know how many women you can look at walking down the street and think they're like rich hoity-toity bitches, and meanwhile they just know how to shop, they know how to thrift shop, or they get gifted a lot of hand-me-down clothes. They don't have money per se, they're not at a status that you want to judge them to be at, but if you know where to go, and if you're there at the right time, you can get things that are worth hundreds of dollars for a handful of dollars, right? That doesn't mean anything. Just like somebody who's driving a car that's if it's new or close to new. Well, if that's exactly where the priority is for somebody to be able to, like, you know what I mean, to get that car, all their money is going into it, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're well off, right? It just means that was their life choice of, I'd rather have a new car and be safe. Often people will get a new or very new vehicle because they've had so many problems with their fucking lemons and jalopies and put so much money into them that, when you're paying $500, $600, $2,000 for repairs all the time, I'm done. and I'm going to invest in this, even if it's a big payment, right? And there's ways now to like spread out payments in so many different ways that you can have a new fucking vehicle, even if you don't even have enough kind of salary for it because it's extended for so long, right? And a lot of people, I'm going to put this out there too, a lot of people inherit things. So you can judge or analyze what somebody looks like, but it's because somebody transitioned or passed away. They lived through something really hardcore. They're in grief still, but they've got something that looks like something, right? Anyways, that's a lot of ramble and rant. I'm not sure why all that had to come out, but hey, take what resonates, leave the rest. Hey, Modib. How's it going, eh? Where are you? Are you back home? Are you back home, Modib? You're still at your dad's? Can he hear me? Can he hear me? I want to scream, Dad! Give me a snack! Yeah, Amber, good reminder to not judge a book by its cover. Yeah. No, I have a headset on. Okay. I don't know. I don't want to get you in trouble. I could get you grounded, Modib. I could literally get you grounded. Depending on what comes out of me, I don't know. You know what I mean? I could say the stuff that's like, oh my God, you're never allowed to go on the internet again, my son. Loves you, dude. Yes, I could. I know. Believe me. What's that song? Is I'm the kind of girl you don't take home to mother. Not because of the freaky ass shit, but because of what comes out of. Oh my God. Okay, it says 99 on my screen. Welcome in. 3, time machine, inherited patterns, conditioning, lessons already learned, cellular memory, honoring the past without being trapped there. Time machine. We rely on our stories we inherit from our ancestors, our families, our culture, and the world around us to construct a map of our reality. As we develop new stories in life, we build on those old foundations. We repair them when we can, or we tear them down and begin again. The best and most powerful traits and experiences of your ancestors are yours to integrate into your life so you do not have to revisit their hardships or rectify their mistakes. I think I can only do 2 more days. It's okay if you can only do 1 more, sweetie. Right? Look at the weather, depending on how much you got to travel. Make sure you got the window that you need. And listen to your heart, dude. Listen to your heart. Right? Sometimes less is more. Make sure you listen to your heart, because otherwise you're going to bring in something that you didn't have to happen, dude. Right? If you're on the edge and it's already edgy. I'm just talking from so much experience. Right? I've pushed myself so much that I was sick after I got home. Type of thing. Holding space for you, Modib. Whatever you choose, whatever you do. Best and highest timeline, right, dude? Hey, Timo. I'm in the middle of a time machine card. You have a magical map with which to navigate your current circumstances. Look to the past for answers now and ask yourself, in this situation, what can I learn from those who come before me? What traits can I emulate in order to move through this challenge with wisdom? How can I build on what I already know and integrate this understanding? And what might I do differently? One thing, Modib, as well, this is going to sound weird maybe. I hope that it comes through the way that I mean for it to, but sometimes when I am somewhere, I ask, what else needs to happen or come out of me so that whatever soul contract or whatever was meant to be lived is done? Right? So if I am somewhere, even in public, Sometimes I'll ask my higher self, kind of question, have I done what I meant to do? Is there someone else more I'm supposed to have some sort of interaction with? Or I will clearly look up and say, what the fuck am I doing here? Is there something else that's meant to happen? Because make it happen. Like, right? I tend to I talk to spirit the way I talk, right? I don't butter shit up just because I am talking to my guides, my higher self, or even God. God knows I call him dude, and he's completely on board with that. It's fine, right? Um, God knows, spirit knows, creator knows, our higher self knows how we talk. So if we turn around and pray differently, you realize what a fucking hypocrite we're being? Right? Oh, all of a sudden I'm talking to God, so I'm going to tone down my fucks. All of a sudden I'm talking to God, so I'm not going to, like, say the stuff that I really am feeling right now. No, say it all, because it's all there. You're welcome, Madib. You're spot on, John. Thank you. You're welcome. Came in for a reason. Take what resonates, leave the rest, right, guys? Sometimes we walk blindly into traps that we've set in the past. Perhaps you couldn't see what you were repeating as a pattern until you were well in it. And the best course of action here is to rest. Practice self-compassion. Make a conscious choice to do something differently next time. Clarity will come. Remember, if you do what you always did, you'll get what you always got, because history repeats itself only because we allow it. The most important thing is that we're becoming aware. You can make a different choice regarding on how you respond to life right now. Yes, things can be awkward and uncomfortable as old hurts are revealed and new solutions are attempted. The time is right for change, so keep going. Every step is important. Allies will rally, but in the end, you are the one you are searching for. One day you'll remember how beautiful your new story was just around the corner. I'm going to move around a bit. I've been on for, ow, my hair was caught.
I've been on for
I know, and I almost burned my head too on my candle. Yeah, a little bit of smoke. Shh, I'm going to go smoke in the boys' room. I don't have a boys' room. I'm going to go smoke in my in-between doors. Just need to move around a little bit. Amber says I'm already. I already smoked. I was just taking a few puffs of a cigarette. I usually just smoked after dark or around like 6, 7, or 8. When I do, I ain't a daytime smoker anymore. And I learned in summer the hard way that I cannot partake the way that I used to just any time. MJ, come sing your favorite song. For real, Madib? I will be there. I'm an awesome singer, but way too shy. I can't sing. Everybody can sing. Everybody can sing. Some of the best known singers in the world weren't even that great of a singer. They just had a lot of charisma and balls. The boldness. And I like to use Jimmy Buffett as a reference. Right? He ain't the best singer, but everybody knows who Jimmy Buffett is. Because just he's that dude, right? My idols, you know what I mean, back in the day were like Wayne and Garth, dude. You know what I mean? So what people think of they can do something or they can't, and what I consider like raw, they were hot. You know what I'm saying? Amber, you might go up again tonight. Right on. Well, if you decide to go up, Madib, you email me direct because I will not miss that. I fell asleep last night, Matrix Man, between like 10 and 11. I can't remember exactly because I don't remember the time. I didn't really look. I basically, to be honest, I basically was listening to Amber. I wrote, can somebody maybe play Hang On Sloopy? And then 5-10 minutes later, I turned off my device and fell asleep. For real. I swear. I'm a party animal, eh? I just boom, fall asleep. Lily stays up later than me. Aura light, mindfulness, meditation on the present. Rar, hey Kismet Cat Newman. Love your energy today. Love your sharing is caring. Rar. Yeah, Amber, I knew you did, Jen, because you got quiet, lol. I tend to be more quieter these days, though, like not super chatty, but I at least show an emoji once in a while to say that I'm still there, right? But yeah, if I'm not, when there's no more emojis or nothing coming out of me, it's because I done crashed and burned and I didn't even realize it was going to happen, to be honest. You know what I mean? Like, it just happened so fast. A part of me thought I was just going to lay down, and then it was like I was asleep. I love your song choices today, too. Blue loves you. To be mindful is to be aware of the now rather than distracted by the past or the future and any thoughts of oughts, shoulds, and might haves. Your quest for healing requires discovering what you truly are thinking and feeling when you are not distracting yourself. So important. Our light spirit calls you to be mindful of your needs right now. This might be a time to let tears flow or laughter rise, or to recognize something so subtle that you previously missed, or to understand that you are so much more than what you can accomplish or produce. Be here in this moment, fully present and accepting of what is. Make the time to meditate today and simply observe what you know and feel without starting to talk yourself out of it and into something new. No matter how hard this moment may seem, simply by observing it, you change it. You uploaded 10? I think I got to 5? Or 4 maybe? Right on. Auralite contains 23 different minerals and is a healer on so many levels. No one benefit outweighs the others. Starting slowly, meditate with this stone for short periods of time regularly allows us to become used to its energy. It works well in all chakras, and it's a stone that can be used effectively to address any issue of the mind, body, or spirit. And then 2 cards fell out. The second one is raw Morganite, Morrigan energy. Morrigan. Lot of activation. Same. One of my biggest downloads this morning, or early middle of the night, I don't know, was 3 to 1. 3 to 1. For every one person that's heart is closed, 3 people's heart are open is the download that I got. And I don't know if that's in real time or if that's what's coming, because a lot of people right now, with everything that's going on across the world, it's forcing people to see things that they weren't ready to see, to activate in different ways. And the message that I got was 3 to 1. That for every one person whose heart is closed, 3 people's are open. Triple Goddess of Fate, that's a card to come on in. To come in on, yeah. Raw Morganite as well. 46, sensitivity, gentleness, empathy, compassion. The gift of vulnerability, self-forgiveness. No matter how hard the rock, over time, water can alter it, making a path where there was none before. The appearance of this crystal is a sign that this is a time for you to embrace your sensitivity and gentleness. There is no need to be forceful, where you can simply be open to what you are entitled to receive. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. As this crystal spirit appears in its raw, unpolished form, finding strength in knowing that you do not have to engage in battles that serve no one. You are able to handle whatever dramas are in front of you right now. Your exquisite sensitivity will serve you well, for it allows for you to see things as they are. The conscious universe will be gentle with you, and Raw Morganite Spirit is here to let you know you are not alone. You have a solid foundation beneath you. Express your gifts of empathy and compassion, for that is stronger than you know. Yeah, it is pretty good numbers. 3 to 1, baby. 1 and 5. No one here gets out alive. I shared it on my community post, Song by the Doors. There's other lines that are pertinent in there right now as well. That's flowing through me, and Last Train to Clarksville flowing through me right now a lot, really loud inside of me. And 3 to 1, baby. 1 and 5. No one here gets out alive is you don't get to that death and rebirth, right? Who you think you were is not really who you are on a lot of levels for us. 3 and 1 equals 4 as well. Stabilizing, yes, and 4 is the door. Dilution and delusion, deluge, message, deluge, demiurge. Message just came in. DDD. Gentle assertiveness is the way now. For the message of Raw Morganite Spirit is to conserve your resources and avoid giving in to the dramas of battles. People who are wounded might not appreciate you right now. Right? People who are wounded may not appreciate you right now. Set healthy boundaries, for your compassion and kindness extends to yourself. Express the strength of vulnerability by being honest without oversharing. By letting others see that you are on a healing path so that they might be inspired too. Indeed, less is more. Listen more, speak less, trying to fix things, you know what I mean? It takes 2. You just step back from the drama. Morganite is a gentle heart cleansing stone that is valuable when we wish to release old patterns, wounds, and blockages that are obstacles to loving relationship with others. Meditation with this stone allows for connection to divine love, which eases the fear of vulnerability and allows us to be open, receiving love from others and from spirit. Yeah, I don't have a lot of words to fill in the gaps if there's no chat to comment on. I'm in that kind of listen more, speak less mode, but guided to come in and just, hold the space for as long as I'm guided to stay. Amber, we need music. Yeah. I have trouble though because it's like I'm there's music, you know what I mean? It's lifelong synchronicities, it's lifelong flow. It's what's playing inside of me that hasn't manifested itself in reality is huge, guys. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone else, but I have songs that it's not clear words, but there's like harmonies, there's music, melodies, there's sounds inside of me that is like the vision, the ear's vision of later. And it hasn't shown up yet in my reality, it hasn't shown up yet in my feed, it hasn't shown up yet on the on my Spotify, type of thing, but it's coming, right? It's coming. Kismet stories. How do you define that word? Books and tales, building height. Tarot cards tell a story as well. Store plus E, energy storage. Hmm. 19, dog spirit. Be loyal to what you love. Dog spirit appears to remind you that although change is part of life and all of us are meant to evolve, our love and commitments remain strong. You are loved now and you can trust that this is a higher love that is true. Spirit loves you and love has arrived in many forms, manifesting in the people you surround yourself with, expressed uniquely through them. Dog spirit also says to be true to that which you love, for now is a time of good fortune. Be steady as you recognize that people and things are always transforming. Your heart is loving and true, and Dog Spirit wants you to know that your steadfast commitment to experiencing and expressing love will attract and manifest more love, and you deserve it all. Have faith in Spirit's plan for you. Protection message. Loyalty to people and situations can turn into attachments that result in stagnation, enmeshment, and loss of integrity. Do you fear what will happen if you let a relationship evolve? Are you afraid that asking for a situation to change will make others see you as disloyal? Trust that when Dog Spirit appears, you are meant to accept the turning of the wheel of life and the changing of fortunes. If you feel you are being betrayed or you are growing apart from someone, let Dog Spirit reconnect you with your commitment to love in all of its forms. Perhaps a relationship is meant to evolve. Perhaps you are meant to evolve too, so that which you can experience the growth for which the growth for which your soul yearns. Your greatest loyalty is to love. So be open to it in all its guises, including self-love. You deserve the best, and that's what Spirit wants for you. Amber LaShalle, that's what I like about them. They're just pages of a book, separated. Kismet says, Amber, did you know that playing cards are created from tarot cards, or that the cards of prophecy, cards of fate and destiny? Did you realize too that I named the stream? I put all the suits of a card game, and then I said, well, I wrote, let the cards fall where they may. And I'm 80 minutes into the stream, and this is what you guys are talking about. Amber said, yeah, they got bored with the numbers and started to draw pictures, I think. Yeah. Kismet, maybe I wanted to elaborate on the story and apply it to the celestial as above, so below. As below, so above. Sorry, sweetie. Kismet, I noticed G, House of Cards, Thrones. Yeah, and weird, very fucking weird synchronicity, but we have these 2 card decks. I'm gonna go get them. We have these 2 card decks that were gifted to me by my sister who went on a trip to Arizona. So there's 2 of them. This is what the cards look like on the one side. We have a bunch of different card decks because they're either ones that I already had before or they're gifted, right? So different decks we just use for different games in a way. And we've been playing Go Fish, which might sound really lame, but Go Fish is like a nice go-to game to not have to think, but to still be playing, right? And I can honestly get lost in a game of Go Fish because I'll have my cards.
Are you telling them about the queen?
Yeah. I can get lost in a game of Go Fish really fast because I'm looking at the cards and they're speaking to me in different ways. So as uncomplicated as it is to play that, it can be like still like I'm diverted by like certain things in the cards. Anyways, that's not part of what I was going to say, but I said it anyway. Because it's how I am, right? That oracle part of me will just get in, see stuff. Anyways, last night Lily is doing some cleaning in her room and stuff, and all of a sudden she's like flipping out because she found something. Because you know when you clean your room and it's been a while and we've lived here for a year, so she's got accumulated stuff and she's going through things. Anyways, so she's really just in awe that she found something, and what is it this time? And she comes and she's like, I finally found the missing queen. She's been missing for like
I'm gonna show them. I want to show them something.
okay. She's been missing forever, and it's the Queen of Diamonds. And I'll let Lily show what she wants to show first.
Okay,
Be
so
careful
I
the
found these
candle.
little Christmas figures. This one's my favorite. It's a little duck with a hat on it.
Watch the candle. It's super cute.
And then,
Just show it for a little couple seconds more, just so that it's easy to
and
see.
then this one is like a bunny with flowers. in
That's
front of
that's
him.
a mouse.
That is a mouse. I thought
Show
was
it
a
a little
bunny.
bit longer. It's so cute.
I thought it was a bunny. No, that's obviously a mouse.
I like the blue flowers. Don't touch the screen. Thank you.
And this one is my least favorite because it sheds snow on the bottom. It says decorations on the side.
There's a little angel on top.
Yeah. It sheds the snow. And then this one's mom. Okay, she sneezes a lot.
It's me because I sneeze a lot.
A bunch.
And I have a tail. I don't really have a tail.
That's it.
Thank you. Dude, I'm the lucky one.
The duck keeps falling when you look at it. She likes to take stuff before.
So she found the missing card, which is the Queen of Diamonds. And in Desperado, Don't you draw the Queen of Diamonds, boy. She'll beat you when she's able. I've always hated that fucking line, right? I've always hated that line of that song. Don't you draw the Queen of Diamonds, boy. She'll beat you when she's able. Go for the Queen of Hearts. Well, we're not all the Queen of Hearts. You know what I'm saying? And all the different queens, there's not one that's more greater than or less than. There's not one that's ultimately trying to beat, right? And part of that, she'll beat you when she's able, is part of that temptress, Jezebel program kind of thing, right? But anyways, I thought that was pretty cool. We didn't think she'd be found, and there she was, right? When you least expect her, there's the queen. When you least expect, there's the king as well. Where's my king card? I think I put it right behind the screen. I don't know. I got 2 King of Club cards. I don't know where they are right now. King of Clubs and the Queen of Diamonds. Yeah, you get it, eh, Kismet Cat Newman? Yes, gee, I call that falling into the visions. Yeah. That's why, right, that I find that it can be so, like, just whoa, because just the dynamic of just the two of us and me, like, falling into that vision or being in a trance kind of thing. And, you know what I mean? There's no one to pick up the slack of when I have that, right, squirrel energy of falling into the visions. What did you write? That's okay to call me Michelle. My name's Michelle. Michelle Genevieve Marie. You're allowed to use any one that you choose and however you do. I like when people, like, cut up my name. And by cut up my name, I don't mean, like, you know, write my name and cut it up. That sounds like kind of voodoo dollish. I mean, like, if you want to call me Jen, G, Jeannie, Vives, all that, I like it. I like what people choose.
Jennifer?
Not quite a Jennifer, but
Mitchell?
Mitch. I like Mitch too, yeah, for sure. Amber, I like the Queen of Swords. She'll cut whatever is necessary. Kismet, playing with the Queen of Hearts. You know it isn't very smart. Joker is the only fool who'll do anything to you. Is as silly as the one that tempts fate. I call them the true fools. Just one. M-I-C-H-E-L-E. My name does not have hell in it. I always, when I was growing up, and I was 6 when we moved from French Quebec to Alberta. And as soon as I got to school, I didn't know English. I only knew a little bit of English. I was fluent in French at 6 years old, but I didn't know English very well. I didn't know anything. I knew, when I started my first day of school, I knew, like, yes, no, please, thank you, sit down, stand up, where's the bathroom,
The basics?
the words to Copacabana, even if I had no clue what they meant, because that song had played on the
Is this
radio
all
all
mine?
summer. Yes. There could be something of mine inside, just give it back, and vice versa. So when I started school, I didn't even know the language, and there was other Michelles in the class and in the school, but they were all M-I-C-H-E. Oh, it's possible that I did it wrong, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
I didn't mean to, just put it there. Anyways, everybody else's name was spelled with a double L, and I got teased in, like, you know, whatever, a lot of different ways because I didn't even know how to speak the language, right? I was 6 years old in another province, and I didn't even know the words that people were saying to me. So I started spelling my name with double L's in grade 1. And then by grade 7, I was like, fuck this. I'm going back to my name, Micle, just one L. And so I just started spelling my name the right way again. And even my mom was like, why are you doing that? And I was like, what do you mean? Why am I doing that? Because it's my original spelling of my name. And she's like, no, it's not. And I was like, hang on. It's funny because I have this right close by. And she's like, no, it's not. And I was like, well, yes, it is. And she's like, no, your name is with 2 L's. And I was like, no, it's not, Mom. And I went and got my birth certificate, which I happen to have close because I'm doing stuff where I need it. And I had to show my own mother my birth certificate because she thought I was just trying to be cool and sound French. But I was like, no, when I was in grade 1, I didn't want to be cool because I wasn't cool. Everybody was laughing at me. And so in grade 1, I changed it. And by grade 7, she forgot. I had to show her my birth certificate, right? It's so funny. And I remember because I had started it right at the beginning of the new school year. So the school couldn't be all of a sudden you're changing the way you spell your name in the middle of class, right? But my own mom was like telling me that I was like changing it, and I was like, no, I'm going back to the original, the way it's supposed to be spelled. That way. Bringing back winter to the Pacific Northwest, Arctic blast in the mix. Yeah. Money, there can be only one. Yeah. And that's why as well, like Michelle Canham Free, her original spelling is with 1 L as well. And although I'm from French Canada and I've been, across Canada front to back, I've only met a handful of women whose name has only the 1 L, right? Even in French Canada, it's more common to have the double L's. So your mom's does? Had the last name Heck, Heck. I get ya. Yeah. Yes, Annie. She forgot what time you were born, too. Sheesh. Hi, all. I just woke up from a nice nap. Yeah. Indeed. I was looking on my birth certificate to see if it had my time of birth, but it doesn't. It has the H and the M here where the hour and the minute is supposed to be, but it's not filled in. Right? Isn't that fucked up?
Do you want this?
Yes, I thought you had.
I know you sometimes.
You
wear
had
them,
kind of
not
given
them.
it to me,
Yeah.
and then I just
Why you
kind of.
still-
Who loves it? When I bought it for you with the intention that if you don't like it, I love it.
Yep. And now that's happened.
Yeah, it is very strange. It's like a weird ass mystery because my mom told me I was born at a certain time all my life, but 2 years ago when I asked her specifically for somebody to do my chart, she told me I was born just before midnight. And I was like, what? You said all my life I was born just before like breakfast type of thing, and now it's before midnight. And then when I actually go on my actual birth certificate, there's no time. So, there's a reason for it all, but it's can't make this shit up. Really? I don't think I've ever known anybody with the last name Heck. Annie D. I knew some Heck girls. Karen, Kathy, Kevin, Carol, and one more I can't remember. Kathy, Karen, Kevin, Carol, Charlie. That is a copy. I don't know where the original is. It's probably in some of my stuff somewhere, or I burned it at some point because it was just with some other things. Kevin was a boy. Yeah. I want to make some jokes, but Did you dream during your nap, Annie? No, Amber, exactly. I wasn't meant to know, and I wasn't meant to be able to do all that chart stuff, or for anyone else to be able to do it. You can do it, but it'll never be based on the exact time because there's nobody to answer to anymore, right? My mother is still alive, but she's in a fog of her own of whatever she chooses, or like somebody said to me once, it's not always somebody choosing to change a story, it's they Mandela affected, right? Whatever her belief system of her memory
It still fits me.
is part of Mandela effect, I think.
Kind of.
That way, I have my original. It's the proof of the fraud. Yeah, I know, dude, but again, we're in a certain paradigm, and believe me, me getting this shit done with my birth certificates and what's coming next is what's going to be the change. I can believe in the magic and the alchemy all I want, but guess what? There's not enough people in this world believing in it, so we're looping fucking patterns and programs and bullshit. And Genevieve and Lily have to get out of Dodge, and the papers are going to help us, because certainly no one else, right? It's the papers that way, because nobody's fucking riding in on a fucking horse or a blue truck to get us out of Dodge in a different way, right? Just saying.
It still fits me. I did not.
Can I put like a big like heart sticker right on one of those ribs of your? Ooh, I'm hungry. Can I have some ribs?
You want to eat the bones?
Okay.
Can't really breathe.
You're so creepy
I
to
didn't
me
think
right
it
now.
would fit.
Of course it fits. You're creepy. Looks like you're gonna bite me. Please don't bite me for real.
Oh my god. I need to take this off. It's way too tight.
Oh my gosh, it's so much more beautiful
I hurt my
with.
nose with the zipper.
No kidding.
I didn't think it was going to fit.
I know, Amber. So that was my dad's. He gifted it to Lily. I don't know how many years. He gifted it to her in 2019 when we were going camping for extended camping. But he had that when my other children were very young.
So these are from.
You know what I mean?
This is from like.
That sweater is from when Sam was like 5, 6 years old.
This is
No,
from 2000.
6, 7 years old. Yeah. And so my dad went for a walk with the kids once. He had the kids, or I was at the cottage. I can't fucking remember. And the kids were about 4 and 7. And they went for a walk. My dad lives in the middle of the woods. And my dad says to the kids, I gotta pee. So he went into, like, this is the road. And he went into the bush a little bit to pop a squat. But he didn't really, because, well, men stand up, so he didn't have to pop. He didn't have to squat. But basically, he had the plan all along. He was going to take them for a walk, and then he went into the woods. He backtracked. Then he didn't say anything, and the kids were wondering where he was. 4 and 7. This is going to sound funny, but in a way it's not, because I'm the one that had the nightmares after of what the kids felt. 4 and 7. And when he knew that they were damn good and scared and wondering where's Grandpa at, again, those ages, he came out of the bush fucking screaming with that sweater on, all zipped up and shit. And this is like, again, it is hilarious from one perspective, but from the other perspective of how young they were, right? It's funnier in hindsight, because in the moment they were so scared, right, that I'm the one that, you know, they'd have nightmares, or they'd be like scared to go back for a walk type of thing, even if they knew it was him. So yeah, anyways, like I said, it's like a funny story, but sometimes when you decode a story from front to back, is it as funny? Because yeah, I don't know. Can't stay, Anita. Okay. Love you, sweetie.
Yours is back.
I don't even like that. That's not mine. No.
Okay.
Actually, maybe. I kind of was wishing for something yellow. Maybe I'll...
It was yours, but Amy gave it to you, and then I stole it.
Annie G, mine is a black birth certificate
It's a
with the
FICO.
original white print from 1959. Roar! Cool beans. You did not...
Got my Pink Floyd shirt.
Can I have it?
No.
Oh. No dreams that you recall, any? Kismet, I think of other individuals as their own bubbles, and it's up to them how they want to color that bubble. Amber Lachelle says, my ex was in my dream, so I chose not to remember it. Just a way of trying to get me some other way since he can't in real life. Yup. Yup. And lately, when I go to bed, I am making sure to say, like, to protect my dream time, that unless there's not a greater higher good, and if people can't speak to me in a way that's actually going to serve, then get the fuck out of my dream time, bitches. Like, for real, right? Waking up and feeling certain things because someone or more than one person is thinking about us so much that they're actually be able to project themselves into our dream time. And it's like, I'm not learning anything from this. Nobody's speaking any differently, right? Because people, usually what happens is the people who can't speak to me a certain way in real time, they don't know how to express themselves, they can't be vulnerable. In my dreams, we're working together on certain things. So although in real time, things are not looking like they're advancing, in dreams, we're advancing together, right? And then that flipped about a month ago, and I've had like 3 dreams that felt like just like I'd rather not even go back to sleep again if I'm gonna have to dream that shit. You know what I mean? Like, enough, right? No way. Kismet says, oh gee, hubby mentioned today getting my truck going again. It's a Dodge. I wasn't sure if he was serious, even though he's a Gemini and technically serious enough to get excited about it. Kind of excited. That's kind of cool. That's happened to me before. Not in the same way, but Annie says, I was listening to James True and fell asleep, and I dreamed I was asleep next to him while he talked. Ew. I think that's funny. That's happened to me, though, where I am either a part of somebody's live stream or a part of their video within my dream time of what one of the last things that I watched or saw was. Zigzagzilla talked about this in his video yesterday or the day before, where, you know what I mean? If you're watching a scary movie or watching a movie with a certain message or a certain imprint, then you'll dream about it, right? Kismet, speaking of hubby, he just came back. Gotta go. Love you too. What kind of wine, Wadib? What kind? And by kind, I don't mean red or white. I mean, like, what's on the label. Call of the Muse, 31. Creative expression, being in the flow of creativity, tuning in to inspiration, allowing creativity without being self-conscious. Writing and journaling as a means of connection. When you feel the call of the Muse, notice the ballet slippers, eh? Just saying. When you feel the call of the Muse, you're being invited to create, to be the artist, choreographing your life, serving on behalf of the great artist, the divine source. While your process feels intensely personal, your ego and self-identification are ironically the most unnecessary parts of the equation. That's really important. A lot of people stop themselves, and it's like, if you knew what you were holding back. And I think, and I speak from I speak from experience, guys. If I had listened to my little voice, I would have never started doing YouTube. If I would have listened to the voices of my past, I would have never done this. If I would have listened to the people who are of my life, once they knew I was doing this, I would have never continued. But it's through the reflections of self of people who have commented when I made videos, or commented or reached out to me in the background of the little things that I say, that was what they needed at the time. But if I would analyze everything I say all the time, and if I was always judging everything I say, there would be no channel. Because it's not planned, it's not scripted, it's not edited, it's flow. And flow doesn't know where it's going to go. It knows it's going a certain way that has love as its core, as its intent, right? But then Black Box, Cabernet Sauvignon. It's easier to have more than one glass undetected by who you know who. Are you drinking in secret from your daddy, Maudib? Are you drinking in secret from your daddy? Oh, you remind me of one of my friends who was like 40-something years old. And she would go out to smoke. She would say, let's go out for a smoke. And then she'd smoke really close to me so that her mom would think it was my. And she'd be like, Mom, I'm going for a smoke with my friend. Right? Meanwhile, we were like 40. And I'd be like, I don't know. If I let the cat out of the bag, like, I don't mean to. I'd be like, why don't you just tell your mom you smoke, for fuck's sakes? And she'd be like, because then she's all like, like, I know, but oh my God. And she's like, I've just learned that it's easier to just like fucking like lie and pretend I don't smoke than to listen to her bullshit. And I was like, well, I'd rather not listen to bullshit and just not go to her house if she doesn't fucking, right? I've never hidden from my family that I smoke. I smoke, you know what I mean? And it's like, fuck, you want me to lie to you? You're the one that's fucking judging it, not me.
Okay.
Not quite sure with all that buzz. You okay? Hey, Michelle.
I told you I was okay.
Sending you love back too. Did you hear? Were you here earlier when I was speaking about our name, Michelle, M-I-C-H-E-L-E, and how it's not common, right? Like, yes, there's other ones, but not many. And then you're here like what? I don't know, that was 5 to 15 minutes ago. Fucking right, Cotton. I completely get it. He monitors the bottles. Knows I have a glass, but the bottomless wine comes in boxes. Oh my God, you remind me so much of like, oh my God. Yep, in a certain timeline, not so long ago and far away, I allowed myself to partake like way more wine with my family than I ever did. A lot of it was, to be honest, to be at the frequency that they were at, right? That's it. When in Rome, if you want to sustain the energy, you partake a little bit. And the judgment, I could actually hear sometimes. Oh, I can't believe, like, did you see how much she drank? Or did you see, like, oh, the bottle is going down, right? And it's just like, oh my God. I completely understand that. Completely. Yeah, Michelle, it is quite uncommon. Amber, yes, if you can beat them, join them. Yeah. But that's the thing, is after realizing, like, whoa, okay, if I'm actually partaking so that I can be able to sustain a certain frequency, like a certain energy, and then the one time or two that I don't, how it feels, it's like, what the fuck am I doing here? This is not good, right? Yeah, only if you feel like it. Yeah, but when it's like that thing where, like, if you're in a relationship with someone and you don't even realize how much you both consume because it's just kind of normal, right? If you have a beer, I don't drink beer, but like let's say people who will have like 2 beers after before supper and then a bottle of wine together. Well, when you choose not to drink anymore, how sometimes nothing actually matches if you're not tipsy or close, right? Like you can't maintain a relationship anymore because that was the one thing that kept the relationship going, was that equal tipsiness. And usually it's equal, one person tipsy and the other person like fucking drunk. And when you're not tipsy anymore and you see how much the other person actually drinks, I'm talking from my perspective, from my experience, you know what I mean? Or when you have a couple or a family and one family member has to eat different, like for health reasons, and then like how families can either like truly support so that it's less hard, especially at the beginning. Once a person's got their groove, then having chocolate or chips around the house can be easy. But in the first days, weeks, and months where somebody has to completely shut down certain things, like I'm talking from the perspective of health, doctor, life or death conditions, or conditions that it's like if you stop all this shit now, you won't need medication. But how like families will like they'll amplify eating chocolate in front of you, or amplify like buying you gifts that have all this shit, and it's like, but I can't eat this anymore, right? Oh, it's fine. Just save it for your treat day or just give it to someone else. But it's like, bitch, why did you give this to me? You know what I mean? Like when it's a situation of trying to flip your whole life around for yourself, right? I've even had people that as soon as they know that somebody who's a vegetarian or a vegan is going to their house, oh yeah, they might make a meal special for them, but they're going to make more meat because it's like that, I'll eat meat if I want to. Meanwhile, it's just like a one-time thing or one couple days of having a guest at the house, but it's like there's fucking even more meat than there ever was. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense, how like humans choose to not elevate people when they're trying to make a life choice, whether it's critical or just as a life choice. But I never been teased so much when I stopped eating meat. Like I was teased so much, and it was just like, what the fuck, like, you know what I mean? Like people would say, like, I can't believe it, you're the person that would eat like, when I had my restaurant, I would eat sometimes like 3 hamburgers a day, and that might sound like this is not fast food hamburgers, right? First of all, this is like excellent meat, excellent bread, good cheese. For me, a hamburger, like it's very thin patty, and it's about the condiments, it's about the vegetables, and it's about the bread, right? When I say hamburger, sometimes people have like the imprint of fast food, and it's like, no, it's a whole other level, right? Same with pizza. Sometimes people are like, oh, pizza, and it's like, what the fuck? Have you ever never made a pizza from scratch? Like, it's not fast food quality, right? It's very good for you. But how? When we choose to stop certain things, the bullying and the teasing, um, maybe. Especially masculine, when they want to stop drinking or something, if they're just, and how, like, you practically have to change your friend group because the people in your life are always going to like be so joking and sarcastic, but it's because essentially they want you drunk, right? They want that version of you. They don't want the new version of you who's sober. They want the old version. But if you really truly love people and they're making these choices, it's like sad when we think about how, right? What the way people treat other people, and it's all in the name of it's a joke. But damn, all these jokes are what keep people in loops and patterns. And the jokes essentially eventually are what drive people apart. I don't care. If you say something's a joke and I'm too sensitive, then if that becomes a pattern, I don't want to be your friend. If you don't care that something hurts or doesn't feel good to me, then go hang around with people who don't feel that, right? I tell people this all the time. You want to make sexist jokes, you want to sexualize people. You know how many women are on the screen right now in any given fucking platform who want to be sexualized. They're asking for it. They want you to think they're beautiful and hot and sexy. They want to be sexualized, right? Whether it's a cry for help or whether it's like that they are in their sensuality, embodying their goddess, that's their fucking box of Cracker Jacks, not mine. But the line is drawn here. You do that, like, fuck, I'm going to tell you. And if you don't listen, you're not going to get me to all of a sudden, like, oh, you're right. You're right. Would you like me to, like, dance for you, baby? Like, fuck you. You know how many people have platforms where there's everything that other people would want? So get the fuck away from the people who don't want it. That's it. Yeah, Michelle. People embedded in addiction can't handle seeing someone else rise up. Exactly. They can't stand being reminded of their shame. Exactly. With friends like that, who needs enemies? Point blank, indeed. I said that to someone a year ago, almost to the day. A year ago yesterday. With a woman like you in my life, no wonder I've never had a woman in my life who's actually an enemy. Because I already had it so much within this dynamic that there's no way that I ever manifested or had it anywhere else. No one has ever treated me a certain way in my lifetime. You know what I mean? In my whole lifetime. That's it. Even the people who fucking couldn't stand me when I bought the restaurant, for example, like when a restaurant changes hands and somebody with a completely, like, imagine, I bought a restaurant that was from a couple, you know what I mean, that they'd been there for 15 years. So for some people, it was like, ew, somebody else is going to be here, right? And everything I did was like looked up and down and critiqued and analyzed, and like even the people who I wasn't their cup of tea, they either never truly came back or they truly learned to love me, right? Over time, my consistency, who I am, even if at first, ooh, the way I talk, or ooh this, or ooh that, it's so fucking consistent. Ooh, tone. That you're either gonna start to like, you know, the cup of tea, or again, you just fucking back away and never come back. But that's it. Even like when people are shocked sometimes about how I talk and I swear and I use certain words, it's like when you see over time that, guess what? This is just how I talk. And I never swear at people. I'm not calling, like, there's my words is not coming from a place of like pointing and swearing at something or at people. It's words that I use in syllables, right? So you just get used to it. It's just how I am. Doesn't mean you have to start swearing, right? But it doesn't mean that you don't judge it. You don't analyze it anymore. Amber, now I need a cheeseburger. I actually have cheeseburger stuff. I got 2 big buns. I swear they're bigger than my, I cannot lie. And bless you for later, alligator. And they're going to be brie. Rawr. Brie's my favorite cheese. Brie and camembert. They're going to be brie burgers later. Amber, yes, you're better off surrounding yourself with people who do support you. Indeed, Amber, I remind them that they shouldn't feel shame. They'll quit when they're ready. And I don't necessarily believe that people have to quit anything, because everything in moderation is why we're here on this earth, is to enjoy this paradigm. Even Jesus turned water into wine. right? And maybe there's inversion and he turned wine into water, and someday we'll know, oh, yeah, but otherwise, it's sacred. Wine is, it's not the wine, it's what people choose to do once they got that in them, or then can't choose because too much, right? But
When Christians judge drinking because of God, because of Jesus, I'm slightly laughing at them because even he turned water into wine.
exactly. Even Lily, right? Like she said, when people judge people who drink, if Jesus turned water to wine, then why do people judge that? Hey, TWP Popcorn. Hi, Travis Molly. How's your week, dude? Yeah, bless you, Lily Rose. I don't feel like reading the rest of this card. Whatever meant to come up. I've been holding it now for a half, 20 minutes or something. Michelle Canham Free says, bottom line, you either get me or you don't. No hard feelings. Indeed, and with such a huge collective, with so many people across the world, that it's easy to connect to talk to, either online or in reality. Why the fuck do people put any energy into people that they don't enjoy now at this point? It blows my mind, Michelle, and anybody else listening, right? It's like you want a certain type of energy from a certain type from a female, then find the females who have that energy. Don't fucking try to bully them into being that for you, right? It's like, even my daughter said this like years ago. She was like, she doesn't like certain things on a man, and I was like, what the fuck does that even mean? You don't like a guy with long hair, you don't like a guy who wears that kind of sweater. Like, what the fuck? Right? Or how a woman that doesn't smoke dope at all, falls in love with a stoner. And then she's going to change him. And then he has to stop. And then he's a fucking stoner and he's a this and a that. Well, you fucking knew he smoked up and it was acceptable while you were dating and fucking courting, and you fucking like wrapped him around your little fucking tits and ass. But then when you're actually together and have a family or something, like the first thing, oh, we're going to have a baby, you have to quit smoking. But you knew he smoked up.
You want this?
Yeah.
I have so many things that are lavender. I don't even like lavender.
You used to love it, honey.
True,
You can't. Okay, well, if you can't remember the lavender days, I do. That's why I had gotten you that lavender tie-dye one, thinking, you know what I mean? She's either
I
gonna...
did like it, just not.
Yeah. Right on, Travis. Good for you, dude. Just got back from the Florida Keys. Had a great time meeting people, having fun in the sun. Cool beans, dude. Glad for you. Muad'Dib, you're welcome, dude. Not sure what you're thanking me for, but you're welcome. You're welcome. Michelle, if I have to ask for it or force it, I don't even want it anymore. Same. Me too. I still find that the hardest thing right now that I'll experience is like somebody wants to talk to me, but what do you want to talk about? Like, fucking say it, right? Like, talk. Just because I'm on a screen and I live stream like this, I can't hold the ball of the conversation. Because believe me, if I want to talk to someone, I'm fucking reaching out, right? I'm trying to find a way to get a hold of somebody, and then I'll say what I need to say. But otherwise, like, I can't manifest to pull out of somebody what they want to say or what they don't want to say and all that stuff, right? That's just like, whew. Oh, no way, Travis. Why? Why do you think that is? I find myself accepting everyone except besides the ones I work with. How long have you worked with them? Is it new and it fresh? And so you just like, was there a turnover at work and a bunch of like newbies got hired, so you're, you know what I mean, kind of holding the load, because that can happen a lot for businesses, especially these days. Do you share a truck with somebody where, you know, your shift is done and somebody else is of that energy touching like in your truck? Rar, yes, Trace B, always, baby. Trace, well, thank you for taking me as I am, listening, doing dishes. Are you washing baby bottles? Okay, yeah, because the people at work are so fake. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Weird question, and I don't know if you feel to answer, but do you see through what they're faking? Like, do you see through what their exact wounds are, or what they're hiding, or what they're faking about? Cups, cups, and more cups. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'm a little late in the cups, cups, and more cups. Of course. I love it. Roar. I was thinking last night about how I had a certain chair that was super safe, and Lily was really, really little, like, you know, like so little that I would, when I knew I was cleaning the kitchen and I needed room everywhere else but not the sink, how I would set her up, or I'd have her sit in the one sink and then she could play in the other, so that she was in the kitchen with me, but that I could get stuff done in different ways. And Lily wasn't, you know, she wasn't that kind of kid where if she was somewhere that she would do something to try to, you know, get away or hurt herself, right? You know what I mean? Like, she was very logical for like a toddler and a little girl. Like, just when she would hurt herself, I'd be like, "Are you going to do that again?" And she'd be like, "No, why would I do that again?" Right? She only one time stuck something up her nose, and I was like, "Do I have to worry you're going to stick stuff up your nose again?" And she was like, "No, why would I do that again?" And she never did. You know what I mean?
It never came out.
Yeah, we don't know where the little raisin went. She was 2, I think. Me and
Yeah.
me and
Three.
2 or 3.
You had left for snowshoeing.
Yeah, Chris and I went night snowshoeing. So we had the, you know, we went night snow. We would pad.
Same night that I got my teddy bear.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously.
We packed our own trails, and one night we were like, let's just go for snowshoe, and the, you know, the teenagers were taking care of Lily, and we didn't have cell phones. Even if we would have had them, we wouldn't have had them on us. I think this is one of the beginnings of we should have a cell phone on us. But all of a sudden, fucking Ethan, my stepson, is like running with his snowshoes, catching up to us, and like basically he could see the light, you know what I mean? And he was like, Dad, Michelle, you guys have to come home. And we were like, what? Lily stuck a raisin up her nose. We don't know where the raisin went. Holy shitballs. I still can see us where it's like,
That was an interesting night.
it was an interesting night for sure. Yeah, we never found the raisin. I don't know. Was there even a raisin? I don't know. I need to.
Trust me.
Lily remembers. I gotta move around.
This is the teddy bear I got the same night. His
Yeah.
name is Barry. Such a basic toddler name.
Did I tell you too? Sienna had a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You told me like twice.
Oh, sorry.
The last time you said she was having a baby. So.
Yeah, she had him, but I forget what she named him. It's a beautiful name. All of a sudden, I'm thinking about it, I can't remember. happy. Travis, cool retro 80s throwback shirt for the live stream. Yeah, it's been through a lot. I should get my sewing needle out, but I just didn't. They act as though they're better than everyone. Okay, yeah, that kind of, yeah. Josh had to get a scratch and sniff sticker removed. It was too far up. I had to pull a little silicone puppet circle out of Nate's nose with tweezers while he slept, and he woke up. Ay, ay, ay. Oh my god. Oh, I want one of these. I'm going to stay for a little bit longer, and then I'm going to get going. I'm going to try not to go too long today, this evening. Rawr. The shell in the sky. I like it. I like it a lot. If you stuck tweezers near my nose while I was sleeping, I don't think you'd even get them up there before I woke up. Holy shit balls. Card number 30, Adventure. He's ready. He's so fucking ready. This is an excellent time to take a short jaunt anywhere that inspires you. If you enjoyed horseback riding or bike riding, create the opportunity to do this. Just get outdoors and travel. It will help you break out of your routine. It may also expose you to a different outlook, a new opportunity, or an escapade. You're really going to feel so much better after taking a break. There's no feeling quite like having the wind blow through your hair or the sun on your back. Well, my little escapade is a little far off still, but it's coming. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Roar, this card is really beautiful. I've never seen it before. It's my kind of card. Saying goodbye to my maples. 23, maple spirit, generosity. Beneath the large boughs of the maple tree, apples are invited to rest. At any time, you might see a doe and her fawn curled up in the midday shade. Squirrels scamper up the trunk and dash from limb to limb, and a rabbit stops to sniff the air. Creatures large and small are drawn to take refuge in the maple's shade. What you give out comes back to you tenfold. There are times in life to receive, and there are times to provide love, services, and items to others. This card suggests that this is a time to give with your whole heart, wholehearted, extreme. Give without thinking of what you're going to gain in return. And by doing this, you enter into the flow of the universe, and blessings will shower upon you. Maples are thought to be a very old species of trees. They are known to withstand environmental changes and can survive and thrive in various climates. Some traditions believe that maple lends strength and power to those around it. If you tap into maple, you will find sweet sap, which is symbolically brings some sweetness to your life. Me too. Well, I haven't heard it, but the word, I have seen it a few times, so it pops up in my awareness. Escapade, Janet Jackson. Maple Sync? Yeah. Be open to receive the bounty of the universe. At the same time, be generous with others and yourself. A warmth of spirit radiates from you. Share your heart and receive with an open heart, and success will blossom. Indeed, sharing is caring, guys.
I just love hearing your bed.
I know. Crystal Cave. Number 9, trust. You stand before the cave, but you can't see in. Although you don't know what to expect, certitude is rising within you. You know you're meant to go forward, and you know you are safe. You take a deep breath, and then you take the first step. Really, Michelle, Escapade has been following me for months and months, maybe a year. He's gonna go listen to it later to see like what lines stand out. I'll share with you. Can't remember the words off by heart. I'm not the biggest Janet Jackson fan. Jesus, Lily. Caves have long been considered secret passageways to sacred powers and forces. Certain shamanic initiations occurred in caves because they were thought to be places where your intuition would be activated. The appearance of this card is a message to believe in your intuition no matter where it takes you. Have faith in yourself and know that you are divinely guided, even when you have doubts. Trust your feelings about others and about situations. You are exactly where you need to be. Trust is the foundation of the ability to manifest. Everything was created because somebody believed it was possible. And patience is absolutely crucial in the application of this principle. Change can happen in a heartbeat, but some things require time. But those things that require time, when it changes, it is lightning fast, right? Things that take years and years to marinate, when the change comes, it's so fast that, like the card that I was reading yesterday, it's so fast that it don't matter how many years you've been calling it in, being patient for it, you're actually scared of it when it shows up because holy shit, you've been waiting so long, right? Know what I'm saying? Be patient and know it's going to happen. Whatever receives your care and attention will flourish. Believe. You've planted your seeds, so give them time to grow. In cultures throughout the world, the cave represents the womb, a source of life. They are where early humans sought shelter and protection. In the depths of the cave, know you are safe and protected. You can let go. Allow your clear, focused intuition to flow freely. Follow the nudges from your soul. Listen to others, but trust your instincts. Indeed, it's through listening, listen more, speak less, through listening to sing songs, people speaking, that you get the seeds, the little grains that you need that make the puzzle come together. Doesn't mean you take everything verbatim, word for word, but within everything that we hear, even the people that we don't necessarily enjoy or resonate with, there's always a reason. If someone's speaking and you don't resonate with them and you happen to be in the same room, have the same job, or be in their live stream passing through, whatever they were saying in a given moment that you're passing through was meant to be somehow. Sometimes the messages that come forth, the messenger, are people that we don't actually like. We don't even have any kind of honor or respect for them. But damn, the one thing they said is the one thing that we needed. And if we're prepared and we're actually listening, spirit, source, our higher self works in very mysterious ways, right? Messages sometimes come forth in ways that, again, the message is right there in front of you all along, but you're not listening because you don't like that person or you don't like that song, right? Ever have a song that comes up over and over? Fuck, you don't like the song, you don't like that beat. Well, it's not about the beat. It's about whatever lyrics are in the song, right? That's why I said Escapade, it has been in my awareness, but I haven't listened to it. And then you say it's been in your awareness for almost a year. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go look at the words. Because what's the line? What's the one word or two words or the phrase that's the, right? Often, if you don't like a certain artist, but the song keeps coming up, did you know that everybody and their brother covers songs and shares? So you can go get a metal cover of a song that comes from the soundtrack of Frozen. You know what I mean? You can get a song that is like by somebody like Britney Spears that you can't stand, but that song keeps coming up for you. But go listen to it from the harmony and the melody of somebody who's doing it in the style that you like, just acoustic guitar, for example, and a man singing, and then all of a sudden it's going to come to you differently. Every song that comes up for you repetitively that you avoid and don't listen to it. Of course, if you don't like the style of music, but go read the words. Go read the words to get the message, because the song won't stop, or the message is coming to you in so many different directions sometimes, because it's like, oh my God, she's not listening to this, she's not listening to that, what the fuck more needs to happen? And I'm going to give a super like whoa example. Back in 2017, I started to have synchronicities of John Wick. John Wick this, John Wick that, and it was like, fuck that. First of all, I don't watch movies anymore, really, and when I do, I don't want to watch action movies anymore. Why? Because they were my go-to before. And I was trying to flip myself into a different embodiment of who I am and how I imprint my eyes. And I swear, guys, I avoided the fucking John Wick so long that by the time that the flow got bigger, John Wick 2 was out on DVD. It got to the point where I would be walking anywhere, groceries, and somebody was talking about John Wick. Or I'd be somewhere where there's not even supposed to be a movie for sale and there's a fucking copy of John Wick for sale. Or I'd be at the library for an activity for children and two dads are talking about John Wick. Or I'd be looking for a movie in the kids section and fucking John Wick was right there. Like, it was like fucking insane. You know what I mean? Like, the fucker, to the point where it was like, he might as well just have showed up in my reality, right? Because that's how much it was like, oh my God, is this going to stop ever? And so it got to the point where the sync was driving me batshit because it was always coming up every fucking where, right? And if it wasn't specifically John Wick, the movie, well, there would be the John and then the wick, right? So the wick of a candle, but then with the name John beside it. It was fucking insane. Driving me batshit to the point where it was like, oh yeah? Okay, we're gonna do this. We are gonna do this. And so one of the reasons I stopped watching action movies was because Lily was very young and she was already being imprinted and had already been imprinted with her dad and of certain things, and we were separated, and I stopped doing certain things to not have that in my home. So one weekend was the first weekend of September 2018. Lily was going to her dad's, so I had reserved John Wick 1 and 2 for the whole weekend, right? I don't know how long it's going to take me. I don't even know if I'm going to want to watch these, but I reserved John Wick 1 and 2 for the weekend. Lily left for her dad's on the Friday. I got dressed up in my most like raw, what I call my John Wick outfit. It doesn't fit me right now because I'm kind of chunky monkey, but it was like raw. I like made myself like hot. put on my fucking shit kicker boots, and I was like, boom, this is date night, and I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna watch John Wick. I started the movie, and just the fact that it was Thunder Road Productions, I had to press pause. I almost passed out. Thunder Road is one of my biggest sinks. It's not one that I throw out here and talk about. Why? Because it's so big, so personal, that I don't throw it out here so nobody can ride my sink. I don't know if you guys know what that means, but when we talk about certain things, how other people are, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, but they're not really synced with that, but it's very easy for everybody to kind of sink in, ride your synchronicities. Anyways, so the movie's just started. Thunder Road production comes up, and I'm like, fuck, I'm knocked off my fucking kilter. I'm like, holy shit, press pause, go have a smoke. It took me 4.5 hours to watch the first John Wick, because the synchronicities and the flow of what I needed from there, that's my personal stuff that has nothing to do with Keanu Reeves, nothing to do with the actual certain things that everybody else sees or thinks about that movie. It's so fucking big, to the point where the Daisy, how the dog was called Daisy, how his first cup of coffee, there's the Daisy on it. I almost passed out because I had just gotten this tattoo exactly a week before. And like the syncs, the flow, how John had lost his wife through disease. They knew she was going to transition. He had time a little bit to say goodbye, but he loved her so much and he was grieving. But I had to stop the movie because I had just ended a relationship with somebody who was with someone who passed away. So seeing parts of the beginning of that movie and how John felt alone in the house was like, and I like brought through all the trauma and the stuff that Chris felt, talked to me about, or that he never talked about. Like, I needed that movie, and the second one and the third. I don't know what's going to happen with the fourth. It's coming out in a few months, if I'm going to be guided to it or not, right? I'm not sure what's going to, right? But I needed the 3 movies for certain inner knowings, for certain synchronicity stuff to open up keys inside of me, for certain things of the truth in plain sight, that it's like, right, how I decode and what I see and what I feel, my belief systems are for certain things, right? But it was like, it took me 4.5 hours to watch the first one. I even watched it with a fucking notebook, taking notes. It's around here somewhere. I can't remember where it is. And the second one took me 3 or 4 hours too, but I can't remember. And it was just, wow. All this time, I know as well why it was best to wait. But if I knew I had that sync coming up so often, and everything inside of me was pushing me to see it, and I couldn't know why until I finally let go of the resistance of why, right? And how many things I learned that opened up keys inside of me. Again, it has nothing to do with Keanu Reeves per se. It has nothing to do with the ultimate story of certain things of John Wick that are, basic 3D, right? Like how dudes will talk about John Wick and it's about this and that. And it's like, it has nothing to do with that, dudes. Like, it has nothing to do with that for me. Anyways, you knew the boots were coming, Trace? Oh, yeah. I gave those boots up. They were my only boots that I had that had heels. I gave them up. I regret that I did, because they were leather with heels, and they were like, they fit like a glove, but hey, sometimes you got to give stuff up. Makes me think of Trinity from The Matrix. Yeah, me got my long coats. I got my long coats. Yeah, divine timing. You saw it at the exact right moment. Yeah. Yeah, but if I would have let go of the resistance a little bit earlier, it would have been good as well. Right? Like divine timing, because finally I let myself. But when like I said, when you're getting to the point that like again, I'm not somebody who watches movies. So other people, y'all watch movies. So if a cassette or a trailer or if the movie's right in front of you, you're happy because, oh, here's a cool movie that's being guided to me, right? You watch movies. But I didn't, right? So I resisted for so freaking long. Ew, Trace. I know what you mean. I gave up 2 leather jackets a month ago and I'm still not over it. Just saying. Damn it. Yeah. It's rare that I have anything that it's like, why did I do that? But it happens. I hope that whoever got them treasures and loves them so much that my worst thing that I ever gave up, Trace, and anyone else listening, I had a pendant that I found at a thrift shop that was it was so close to this blue, but just pure blue with no rune in it, and it was like the exact shape. And I found it at a thrift shop, and it was so powerful, Trace, that I swear, healers, I had a shaman once come and he just touched it. He didn't even ask me for consent. His hand just went towards it. I was at a shop here before I lived here, and a woman, again, just came and just touched it. Like they were shocked, right? Backing away and saying, I'm so sorry, I've never done this before. Like this thing was so fucking powerful. And I gave it up 2.5 weeks after I watched that fucking the John Wick stuff. And it's like, with hindsight, and even just after, it was like giving away my own crystal ball. Like I gave away a part of my power to someone who never even used it. Like to this day, they probably either threw it out or gave it to someone or maybe gave it to a thrift shop, or it's still at the bottom of some of their stuff. It's protecting them, but they're not grateful for it. They're not fucking, you know what I mean? And it's not like I had told them, it's not about wearing it. Put it in your car, put it in your pocket. It's not about wearing it. This stone is precious. And it was because someone I loved was going through health issues, and I wanted to amplify protection. But I've never regretted anything in my life the way that I did that. Even now, I talk about it, and if that thing could come back to me, or better, right? Because the power that it had and the power that I had with it, I've never been the same since that timeline of that year, right? On a certain level. I've never been the same, but I've never, and it's because of where I lived and then what I've lived since, I've never felt like it's been since 2018 that I've not felt like fully anchored in the reality that I'm in, that I'm exactly where I want to be, not where God or source or everybody or everything says I'm meant to be, where I want to be. There's a fucking hell of a difference, right? Yeah, Trace, calling that in or better. Same with the leather jackets. There's a reason we choose to leave things behind. And even as I say this, if they kept it, it's keeping them safe on some level. If they threw it out, wherever it is, whatever dump site, that's fucking powerful mojo. If they gifted it to someone, then bless their hearts, someone else is appreciating. We cannot know. But yeah. What that taught me, giving that, was how it was a part of my learning. You can't save it. First, you can't save everyone, and you can't give away magic to people who aren't ready to see it as so. You know what I mean? It's like, this is gonna make no sense to some. I paid $2 for this. This is not expensive. This is not worth anything by monetary standards. But the day that I would ever choose to gift this to someone, it's a fucking big deal. It's fucking huge. You know what I mean? Because the magic that I've put in it, oh, where it's been, oh, what it's seen, oh, what it's done, right? It's just a little $2 trinket, but fuck, it's priceless. You know what I mean? Shitballs. How? What? Where did you put the box? I got busted. He picked up the box. Like confiscated, you mean? Or just like sharing is caring? I want some. Oh, my dude, you gotta cover your ass, dude. Oh, man. Yes, Michelle. Always add or better to your intentions and manifestations. The universe has plans for us bigger than we can even imagine in our wildest dreams. Yeah, for real. Yep. No, I hid it in plain sight. Did you think because it was black, he wouldn't be able to see it? He wouldn't be able to see through it? Exactly, Michelle. Money's got nothing on intrinsic value. Exactly. That's why as well, like the programming of society to buy rings or jewelry or things that are so expensive when it is the thought that counts, right? If you've ever been gifted a little bead necklace or even a macaroni necklace from a child, you know what I mean? How many people got macaroni necklace or a little beaded necklace from their own childhood, you know what I mean? That came back to them or that y'all kept, right? What time is it? 1850. You okay? What are you doing? Picking your nose? Are you giving me the finger? Oh, I thought you were picking your nose or giving me the finger.
No, my finger's not on my nose.
Se concentrer sur l'amour. Focus on love. Focus on love. Just doing a quick few random pulls, then I'm going to be done. And as you guys, thank you so much for the energy, the participation, or the just laid back, observing in the background. You've had the red plaid on for the last few days. Huh. That makes sense about why I grabbed this. Then I gotta sew the shoulder before it becomes like a... It already, like, I have no sleeve left. You know what I mean? Like, the sleeve stuff here, because that... One time we were at the store, and my whole butt... Oh, my whole butt had, like, this whole piece was hanging down from my butt, but I didn't know. And Lily was like, Mom, there's a trail. Part of your shirt is hanging behind you. I was like, oh, right on. I hope somebody enjoyed that. Oh my God, can you imagine being at the grocery store and you're watching somebody walk around with this hanging from their butt, like back their butt? You know what I mean? Like, I love it. This is why I'm alone. Nobody wants to hang out with me. like, but I have to. Oh my god. Oh, it's been an art smock all along. One time at band camp. Oh my god. My tail. Yes, I told y'all I had a tail earlier. Beaver tail. I mean beaver Canadian. I'm gonna get myself into trouble. There's only 5 people here. What happens in the live stream stays in the live stream, guys. Shh. This is where somebody who's never said anything before is like, blah! Or not. Prosperity, abundanata, abundanita. Well, she sounds nice. Abundanita. Prosperity. Oh, I just made myself hot. Oh. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think of a band camp story, but I've never been to band camp. When art imitates life, yeah. Oh my god. Oh. Where's the after party? I gotta be done. I might go smoke a joint and start a different kind of stream. This is me stone cold sobery. I'm just saying. Sometimes people are like, she must be so stoned, and is like, no, I am like completely. What you get is just like, Are you coming or not? Let's go. Okay, there we go. Change, changement. L'homme va, green man. Retirez-vous dans la nature. Fuck you, I can't. I can't get to nature, really. Not the way that I would want or could. Give me a car, green man. Please, make it that the 3rd time is the charm when I go get what I need to get a car. I swear. Green man. Everything's white now, by the way, here. Northeast Ontario. Can I pull a card with snow on it to at least feel like, you know what I mean? Soyez à l'écoute. Listen. Listen. Happy, happy, joy, joy. I think this will be my last one unless I get guided to like full circle a little bit more. This will be a nice one to end with. But sometimes there's words or something that comes up that makes me go grab another one. We'll see. Happy, happy. Joy. Contentment, a sense of fulfillment, a feeling that all is well. Your desires are effortlessly fulfilled now. Find joy in the present moment, whatever is happening, and be satisfied with things as they are. You're free from the shackles of longing. and able to express the liberation that comes from actually being happy. Moment to moment, for you have chosen happiness over yearning for it. Now is a time for feeling joy for the sake of joy and experiencing contentment. None of this is because of something outside of yourself. Your happiness is just the result of you being at one with Spirit's plan for your life. All is well. The tide is in for now. Enjoy playfully splashing in it. Relationship message. There are moments in a relationship when you just feel good about who you're with and you know your heart is wide open to befriend, to love, and to care for another without wanting anything in return. This is the kind of happy that you just want to share. The appearance of this card is telling you that joy and contentment are here now, not somewhere else off in the distant future. The grass is greenest where you stand. I just said there's no grass here. I just said that, eh? The grass is like yellow under the snow. Yellow snow. Don't eat the yellow snow. Be grateful and delight in your relationships. And if you're seeking a relationship, just be happy now. Happiness attracts more of itself like bees to honey. Protection message. Lighten up, buttercup. They don't say buttercup, I said that. Because this is the time to be ridiculous and silly. As I was just coming out of my ridiculous laughing, eh? That's hilarious. Even the cards know the flow. See the world through the eyes of a clown. Don't take yourself so seriously or anything or anyone else right now. Have fun, be playful, make laughter the order of the day. You'll be surprised by how everything just seems to fall into place when humor leads the way. I want to make a joke about this big egg she's hatching, like that she's like sitting on, but be happy and lighthearted. It's a wonderful icebreaker. Life is meant for play as well as work, for laughter as well as tears, and for celebration as well as focus. Spirit wants to sparkle through you today, so smile and enjoy each breath and each moment. Miracle lies in the silly things today. No way. I'm drinking a maca latte, grass colored. That's hilarious. I've never drunk anything like that ever in my life. I got a notification for Green Greg's, Green Man. Green Eggs and Ham. Waters Above made a community post about it earlier. I shared it as well. Yeah, Michelle, it's impossible to be happy while in deep longing. Acceptance in the now. I will. Thanks, Trace B. I sent you a pic earlier. Check when you're finished. See y'all later. See you later, my alligators. Yeah, I'm going to stop the stream. That's enough out of me. And I wish you all a super duper excellent awesome night, evening, day, wherever you are, whenever this finds you.